So Jason Wilson was on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Stephen A.
Stephen Jackson.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry. I wrote down Stephen A.
No,
sorry.
Stephen Jackson. All the Smoke podcast. You can listen to the All the Smoke podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast.
Yes. Friends of the Room. Now, they talked about the power of men crying. Let's take a listen.
You spoke to the power of crying, and I, kind of briefly shared my story of growing up biracial, black dad, Italian mom, drugs, abuse, alcohol, violence, losing my mom at 27, so it'll be 18 years this November, and I haven't cried. Like, I'm starting to feel it now, and I feel like I'm almost pouring from an empty cup, and, through my actions, I literally just lost my family. I wasn't there emotionally. I wasn't empathetic. So my question is, how do you cry if you don't? I don't want to say I don't know how to cry because I've cried before, but I haven't cried in probably 30 years.
You're guarded. You have to change your perspective of what crying is. It's really is a sign of you being human. And until we get to the place where we can release it, that's when you always feel this rage, this anger, never feeling settled. You gotta smoke some weed. You gotta get something to drink. You need to call that girl. When is enough? Peace is not the absence of chaos, trials, tests, adversity. It's having a calm heart in the midst of those things.
Dropping a clue bomb for Jason Wilson. I love that black man right there. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. It was a great conversation. Y'all should go watch the conversation. It was a great conversation. I'm going to send it to, I've already sent it to a few people that I think should watch it. But now he mentioned, Matt Barnes mentioned losing his family when he started talking. So a while back, maybe like a month or two back, his then fiance, Anantha Sims, I believe that's how I say her name. Sorry if it's incorrect. She seemingly she accused Matt Barnes of cheating with 8 different women back in January. She went on Instagram and she posted this post and it was like, dang, Matt, 8 different women. And then she came back out and was talking about who the different women were and stuff like that. But then it was all taken down and we heard nothing about it. And then now this clip surfaces. So people are like, oh shoot, so that really did happen. And they have kids together. She had just welcomed their baby boy. So people were trying to figure it out. He just answered a lot of the speculation, but it triggered her. So she posted in response to this, if you're going to talk publicly about our personal business, tell the whole story. Don't post half-truths about me and our past relationship to gain sympathy from the masses. I'm in the trenches doing the hard work, making sure all of our kids are okay. You made no effort to emotionally support all of our children through this traumatic transition that you caused, but you're willing to be vulnerable for strangers on the gram for profit. Please keep my name out of your mouth. Since I've left, I said nothing about you, and there's so much I could say about the man you truly were to me. If you don't have respect for me, at least have respect for our children who follow you and see your posts. Your posts are triggering for the kids and I while we're in the midst of healing and rebuilding our lives. We're the ones who reaped all of the damage you caused by your constant selfish, toxic choices. You didn't consider our kids and your actions before, so please try to consider them now. If you want to do some good, please don't speak about me. Go get consistent therapy, and most importantly, start building a relationship with God. Peace and blessings.
I mean, her feelings are valid. I don't know if it's fair for her to say that, or imply that what Matt is doing is performative, because he said it on his podcast, and context matters, right? Like Jason Wilson, he really does have that effect on people. If you've ever read his book Battle Cry or Cry Like a Man, or his new book The Man, The Moment Demands, Jason has that impact on people. And if you read those books, maybe Matt felt like that was a safe space for him to have that conversation and be vulnerable. Like, if you're going to be vulnerable with somebody, it should be with somebody like a Jason Wilson.
Yeah, but she might feel also that, they never dealt with their problems, and to hear it online could be triggering to them. So, but also, like you said, is he's being vulnerable. He's saying he lost his family. He's saying maybe he needs to cry. So it's a tough space, because if I want to talk about my feelings, I want to talk about my feelings, but I don't want to affect you. I'm sure he didn't want to trigger her. I'm sure that wasn't his intention. But, they were just having normal conversation.
Yeah, and I heard, from what I heard from that clip, I haven't listened to the whole conversation yet. I will this weekend. It sounded like he was feeling like he needed to take accountability in that moment. It sounded like it was some things that he had been thinking about for a while. And once again, he felt like he was in a safe space to share that with somebody like Jason Wilson.
Yeah, I think that when you watch it, you'll realize the lead up to the conversation, Jason Wilson talks about his wife and a time where he had mentioned
he wasn't perfect.
Yeah, and he said that there was one point where they were in the kitchen and he said to his wife dang, I really want to spend more time with our son. And his wife responded and said, I wish you would want to spend more time with me like you want to spend with your son. And in that moment, he had to take accountability for how absent he was without even kind of consciously thinking about it. And I think, as the conversation went along, because that was the very beginning, this is kind of midpoint. it made Mack, like, I think he felt, he identified, he saw himself, because he said that he had been cold in a lot of the situations, like he mentioned, because of the things he went through. So
you have to know who Jason Wilson is. I Jason's been up here on Breakfast Club a bunch of times. He comes to my mental wealth expo every year. I've read his books. If you know who he is, you would know why Matt felt like that was a safe space to have that conversation.
And I can also understand, though, her feeling a little triggered by, hey, there's this whole picture of us. We just had the happy family, and then boom, all these women and all these different things that she's alleging. So.
But also, this might be the start, and hopefully that could open up to that conversation.
Absolutely.
If they both need to have that conversation.
Because her feelings are valid, and what she said is
Absolutely.
true. We all need therapy, and we all need God.
100%.
I believe in therapy and God.
Hey, y'all, it's Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club. Sorry to interrupt, but y'all know how I do. So I'm here to talk about Top Dog Law. Y'all hear Top Dog Law all over your radio, and I know by now that if you want top dollar, you should also know this. You gotta call Top Dog Law if it's about your car accident. Don't let these little family lawyers finesse you into a little check. Shouldn't nothing be little this season. Remember, for any serious accident, injury case, Top Dog Law gets you top dollar. So make sure you call today to find out what your car accident, your slip and fall, or your construction accident case could really be worth. And calling Top Dog Law is completely free also. It's free for a consultation. Call Top Dog Law today to see if your case is eligible for compensation with no money down. So make sure y'all go holla at my dogs, no pun intended, over at Top Dog Law. That's Top Dog Law on Instagram and topdoglaw.com. Now, let's get back to The Breakfast Club. You did this story for Donkey today. Chris Lewis, the guy who left his kids in the car while he was at the job interview / not job interview, the back and forth that's happening right now. Well, I had actually reached out to GoFundMe because Antonio Brown created a...
You reached out to GoFundMe?
Yes, because... Now, let me tell you. So, Antonio Brown created a GoFundMe. He's like, I want to raise money for this family because from what he had been told by Chris Lewis's girlfriend, they were homeless. It was a job interview, whatever. There's a police report that came out that said the complete opposite, that debunked that, right? So then AB had to come out and say he was still working on figuring out if this was real or not. He had said in previous posts, if it wasn't real,
everybody's getting their money back.
Everybody would be refunded. And I just felt like, okay, because there's so much, like, we don't know, speculation back and forth.
What don't we know, though?
Well,
we know he wasn't on a job interview.
He's posting as if he's going to figure out some more information.
The police already put out the whole report. The baby mama has spoken. The 10-year-old child has spoken.
There are people who still believe that this man should have some sympathy. There are people that feel like he shouldn't. I just wanted to see where GoFundMe sat at because I feel like if you've given money and it's this confusing, I want my money right now, but I got to wait until it's dispersed. So I wanted to figure out how that was going to work. But what they said to me was that the fundraiser at this point is it remains within their terms of service. So basically, they have to like go with whatever the trust and the safety of those terms of service is. And then once they get to a final decision, like they're trying to figure it out as well too, then yes, funds will be refunded. But I thought that because of all the debunking and all the things that came out, people would start getting refunds right now. But I'm looking at, and the GoFundMe is still here. You can still donate. It's at $83,000, over $83,000.
You know who AB should talk to? The baby mama. He said he spoke to a girlfriend. He should talk to the mother of the child who said in the police report she has told him to stop leaving these kids unattended multiple times.
Well, also too, GoFundMe said that they do have a policy where like you can go and request your refund and get your money now. I just thought like a mass dispersal was going to happen, and AB did mention that too. He said, he said he's still gathering additional information.
Get the money to the baby mama. Get the money to the baby mama because if those kids are being left unattended by the baby's father, give the money to the baby mother. Let the baby mother have the mom, not Chris.
Absolutely.
Let the baby mother of the 3 kids who got left unattended, let them get the money.
Maybe she could put them in daycare or whatever she needs to do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Give it to the mother of those 3 children.
But I think you have to make sure that's approved by the people donating money because they donated money for a particular reason. But I think you have to make sure that's fine to do as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not for sure how that works, but I can ask. But yeah, just wanted to give that little update there that it's still here. And GoFundMe said at this point they're not doing anything wrong.
And by the way, if the father is irresponsible with the kids, you think he's gonna be responsible with money? What are we talking about, y'all?
$83,000.
Y'all be having so much sympathy for niggas, but whatever.
All right. You forgot where he came from.
You forgot that you used to kiss DJ Clue in the mouth.
Shut up, man. Where you your donkey
Why
to,
would
man?
you get on air and say that?
You better stop. Clue gonna fight you,
earlier.
man. Nobody said that. You said you better stop with the rumors.
We'll play the clip back later.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You said you kissed somebody in the mouth, some man.
I said my pops.
Oh, I thought you was Clue's son. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. God damn it. My fault.
He made you. He sunned you and made you gay in 10 seconds.
Mayor Tom Ross of North Dakota needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him, please.
Clue don't like when you play with his name.
Well, you need to stop playing with Clue's name then.
Shut up, man. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Check out video of the full show on Tubi. Free. Classic interviews and more on Tubi every day, all day long, all for free. Just search Breakfast Club and grab your popcorn.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.